I have the opportunity to talk with Arnaud Sussmann here. You have seen him on PBS television, PBS Live from Lincoln Center broadcast alongside Itzhak Perlman and the Perlman Music Group. But there's a very special program that he's doing here in Detroit coming up on Tuesday, June 8th at the Holocaust Memorial Center in Farmington Hills. And he joins me now to talk about it. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me. Very happy to talk about this program.
This is a program that is very personal to you, and it is a program featuring musicians who were affected by the Third Reich and those that perished. And I understand that your own grandfather is a survivor of Auschwitz.
Yes, he was. He passed away in 2012, but I was lucky to know him when I was young. And he is the inspiration behind this program in a way, because I've known all my life that he was a Holocaust survivor. As a matter of fact, I wish that I had been older around him so that I could ask him more important questions nowadays. But and I'm already starting to become emotional. But his name was Jacques Sussmann, and he and his brother, his sister, her two kids, and their mother were all sent to the camps, the sister's husband as well, in the latter part of the war in 1944. And only my grandfather Jacques and his brother Roland survived. And, it's a huge trauma in our family that's obviously affected my grandfather. His father managed to hide. Actually, it's an amazing story, which I talk about in the video that I made about my grandfather. But his father, Kalman Sussmann, on his way home, the day that the rest of the family was arrested, was told just around the corner by the hairdresser that he shouldn't go home. The Gestapo was waiting for him. This is in Vichy in France, and managed to go hide that day. And so also survived, didn't have to go through the concentration camps. And so anyways, this was inspiration because I wanted to pay homage to my grandfather for a long time. And I thought the best way for me was to through my music. And of course, there have been many programs about the Holocaust and composers that have not survived or were affected. But in my own personal way, it was to pay homage to my grandfather, as well as pay homage to the composers whose voices were silenced too soon. As well, there are two other composers on this program that did not perish in the camps, but were affected as well. So the five composers we're playing are Erwin Schulhoff, Robert Dauber, Pavel Haas. Those three died in the camps. And then we're playing a piece by Mieczysław Weinberg. He survived. His family, though, was killed in the camps. And the last composer is actually a composer that's alive. He's 93 years young, Samuel Adler. And
yes,
he's in America, and but born in Germany. Actually, he talks about his own experience during our program. Yes, I think he was born in Germany, and his family escaped right after Kristallnacht. They went through Belgium and then ended up in America. And so he's still around. He actually shares his family's experience in a short video that we put in the program. And he also, there's a nice connection because he was Michael Brown's composition teacher. Michael is the pianist who's playing on this program. So it ties the whole program together. And as I said, I thought this was the best way I could to pay homage to my grandfather and those composers.
I'm so glad that you were able to talk with him. These events that people lived through were so traumatic. We've heard stories about so many Holocaust survivors did not even speak about this, if at all, until the end of their lives, where they came and gave witness to what they had experienced and what actually happened. And I think it's so important for you as a descendant to keep this story alive and to share not only the music but the stories that you have personally. This so touches you so personally.
Absolutely. Well, my grandfather did not talk much about it, of course. But we're very fortunate that he did share a few stories, whether with family members or maybe somebody from the synagogue. All these stories were put together in the document. I really have to thank my aunt, Annie Sussmann, who did this incredible research and put all of this information in the document. Um, and we also found some incredible written documents after my grandfather passed away in his apartment, including a letter which I read in this video where I talk about him, a letter that he and his brother wrote to their father, not knowing if the father was still alive or where he was, but they sent this letter from, I think they were somewhere in Poland, telling their dad that they just lived a year in the concentration camp. They can't tell him the horrors that they went through. It made them hard and serious. They don't know what happened to the rest of the family the first day they were separated. It's a very, very moving letter. I read all of this letter at the end of the video because I think that's the most poignant thing that we have. This is a letter that I think a 20 and 22-year-old, something like that, wrote to their father. It's very moving.
Now, people will be able to come and see the video, and then afterwards, on June 8th, you'll be there. We'll have a Zoom hookup, I imagine, and there'll be a question and answer period, and people will be able to talk with you.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, just one more thought about this, Arnaud. The Third Reich decided the most degenerate government ever in existence to decide that certain types of music and the music composed by people were degenerate. I mean, it just really kind of boggles the mind. The belief that was so incredibly poisonous on so many levels. It really is something that I think people will continue to have to bear witness as we lose more and more of the survivors of the Holocaust.
Yes, 100%. I think it was important for me to do this for myself, for a family. My aunt and my father, their brother is no longer with us, but my aunt and my father saw the video and were very moved, and they're very happy that this will live on, so that hopefully some people will be interested in his story, and we remember, because history has a way of repeating itself.
That's
and
right.
We are living in very turbulent times, and nothing quite like what happened back then. But I think it's very important that we keep remembering these stories and never forget.
Thank you so much for joining me. You were going to be here last year, I know, to perform with the Chamber Music Society, and of course we had the pandemic. But you are coming back in 2022. I understand, with the Jackson Symphony. You'll be here.
Correct. Yes, I'll be playing. To be honest, I don't even know what month it is, but I am I am looking forward to that date. I'm also coming to Grand Rapids for a concert, I think in November of this year. And so yes, I do play in the area quite a bit.
Well, we will join you on Tuesday, June the 7th at the Holocaust Memorial Center, and you can go to their website and register for this very special event. We look forward to joining you then. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.